Those of you who follow me on X, or who are members of the Discord, or if you saw my thought piece a few weeks ago on why fantasy's allergic to guns, then you'll have already been made privy to this little spur creation of mine. And if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that I'm not normally in the habit of recanting plainly visible text in videos, as I think that's an insult to my audience's intelligence, as well as just a simple waste of my own time and resources. The reason I'm breaking with this trend now is because I just realized I'd forgot to include my custom Fantasy Guild articles in my latest book, Life Hacks, which is a small mimetic collection of codes and creeds throughout the world and history, including some of my own devising. So incensed was I by this glaring omission, and as I was looking for a way to market that book anyway, this video seemed only too perfect a recompensatory compromise. So here we go. If you've ever wanted to run your own Fantasy Adventurers Guild in bureaucratic detail, then here's your starting point. Obviously, timestamps will be in the description and or on screen, whichever turns out to be the least obnoxious to edit, and you can find the original image over on X and on the Discord, both of which will be linked below as well.
Greetings, Steve the Skull here to inform you that, as Wolf was editing this, he realized he'd done a stupid with the section numbering and couldn't be asked to go back and re-record the audio, though the text has been amended. Sorry for the confusion. Now back to the show.
Section 1. Guild Structure. Operations. Section 1A. Adventurer Ranks. Classes. Levels. Deeds. Section 1A1. Adventurer Ranks. Not to be confused with grades. See Section 1B1. Adventurer ranks are simple categories distinguishing adventurers based on their accomplishments within the guild. Note: though levels do also play a role in qualifying one for a particular rank, those delineations are more a gauge of an adventurer's personal recognition within the guild itself, so those numbers presented here merely represent the typical ballpark ranges found in each ranking block. Aspirant, an unbloodied adventurer, has no contracts, deeds, or great deeds to his or her name, level 1 to 15. Novice has successfully completed at least one contract, level 2 to 10. Apprentice has successfully completed at least 5 contracts, level 5 to 20. Provincial has successfully completed at least 10 contracts, level 8 to 30. Adept has successfully completed at least 15 contracts or has been credited with at least 5 deeds, level 10 to 35. Veteran has successfully completed at least 10 contracts, has been credited at least 5 deeds, or has been credited at least 2 great deeds, level 45 to 80. Master has successfully completed at least 50 contracts, has been credited at least 10 deeds, or has been credited at least 5 great deeds, level 60 to 100. Section 1A2. Adventurer Party Roles. Scout ascertains/obtains/relays pertinent information between other party members. Skirmisher employs asymmetric combat tactics in order to destabilize a superior foe or force. Support bolster morale, heal the wounded, and tend to the dying as needed. Tank denies area's objectives to an adversary, shields the more vulnerable members from serious harm. Lancer, the special weapons specialist, also usually doubles as second in command. Leader coordinates delegates' roles, awards pay or bonuses, metes out punishments. Section 1A3. Adventurer Levels. Upon arrival at their local AGOB operating base, all aspiring adventurers must fill out an aspiration form. Upon completion and review by a qualified guild administrator, the aspirant shall be given a signed voucher receipt. This will grant them provisory access to the exclusive areas of the OB for the purposes of their evaluation, advisement on which shall be given presently. Their OBVR in hand, the aspirant shall be administered a standard set of clinical exams by the OB's resident physician, or if no such person is available, a commissioned one from the local hospital, or a council of 5 guild veterans, overseen by a guild administrator, in order to determine his or her physical, mental, and magical potential, as well as to assess his or her native skill set. Upon completion of this assessment, the aspirant shall be promptly issued a standard rating of between 0 and 100 for each of the above-mentioned facilities, the average of which shall be his or her new assigned level. This represents the new adventurer's standing within the guild, and as such shall be his or her all-in-one passport, portfolio, and credit line. It establishes his or her access to guild services and assets, including but not limited to room and board provisioning, armory requisitions, surplus equipment buybacks, treasure, loot liquidation, maintenance, repair services, esquire services, credit, banking services, etc. As well, it shall also be his or her source of credibility with fellow adventurers, influencing his or her ability to engage in the following at his or her comrade's sole discretion: defer payment, debt transfers, party formation, negotiate contract terms, retain menials, assume, defer, or transfer credit for deeds or to take part in guild challenges. See Section 2A3. Do not take your level for granted, as it is just as possible to fall as it is to rise through the ranks. Coasting on faith or laurels might buy you a nice cushy court job with your local lord or earn a few saintly favors from the town priory, but it won't get you so much as a single moldy copper chip in our world. Section 1A4, Adventurer Deeds, Great Deeds. Deeds, an act outside a contract, stipulations that gains local prestige. Great Deeds, an act outside a contract, stipulations that gains widespread prestige. Section 1B, Adventurer Pay, Requisitions. Regardless of his or her level, all contracts, debts, buybacks, loans, etc. are paid out in guild credits, which can be redeemed at any guild treasury for an equivalent sum of gold, assets, or currency of the redeemer's choosing. Section 1A3, Requisitions. All AG adventurers reserve exclusive rights to any or all AG assets and resources. However, that privilege is neither universal nor unconditional. An adventurer's requisition allotment may not exceed the multiple of their level in its standard of measure per month. E.g., a level 5 adventurer's requisition allotment is 25. All requisition requests must pass through and be approved by the AG admin from whose stock said requisitioned asset is to be taken. If said officer is unavailable or otherwise unable to address the request within the same day, a requisition order may be formed by a number of affiliated veterans. Section 1B, Adventurer Grades, Contracts, Adventuring Parties. Section 1B1, Adventurer Grades, not to be confused with ranks. See Section 1A1. Grades denote an adventurer's particular style or skill set. The 3 grades are Ancillary, Jack, apprenticed under a registered guild mentor. These generalists are trained in the emergency field applications of all specialties, both utility and combat. Most fill out the ranks of more specialized adventurer parties. Auxiliary, Phil. Temporary, part-time, freelance muscle hired principally for exceptionally dangerous or arduous contracts where higher than normal casualties are anticipated. Primary, Dab, highly trained, skilled experts in one or a few adventuring disciplines, typically operate alone or in highly efficient 4 to 5 person teams. Section 1B2, Contracts. All contracts, once received, are delivered to and processed by a senior guild admin, whereupon they are given a designation which determines what level and number of adventures should be assigned. Once designated, the contract becomes active and will close when enough adventurers have signed on to make it a valid request. The 4 contract designations are as follows. Objectives. Completion status involves the capture, retrieval, or dispatching of a specific person, location, object, or creature. Runs. Completion status involves the translocation of a specific person or object from a specific person or location to another. Raids. A singular objective, most typically involving the elimination of a given target or the retrieval of a certain item. Quests. Contracts containing multiple, sequential, contingent objectives, and thus multiple potential points of failure. As such, they're often reserved for the most veteran adventurers. Contract payouts come in 3 forms: a lump sum, to be collected upon completion; advance sum, post sum, a portion upon contract acceptance, the rest upon completion; or renewable dividends, to be negotiated between the client and the retainee under direct supervision of a qualified GA or esquire. In addition, any secondary forms or methods of payment, anything other than currency, shall be specified in said same manner as above, or else they shall be deemed fraudulent and in violation of the Guild Practice Code. See Section 3. Also, contracts shall specify what forms and amounts, by what means and methods, and under what circumstances an adventurer may procure tertiary payment. Section 2. Encounters. An encounter is any time an adventurer or a party engages in combat while on a contract errand. Section 2A. Creature classifications. Bestial, Creatures that require no specific or unusual methods of dispatchment can be harmed by ordinary means or weapons. Goblins, zombies, trolls, etc. Primeval. Creatures which are vulnerable only under certain conditions or to overwhelming force. Golems, dragons, giants, etc. Expert. Creatures which can only be dispatched by specific means or specialized methods. Vampires, liches, mummies, etc. Untouchable. Creatures that are not vulnerable to normal weapons and that possess no known specific weaknesses. Demigods, demons, devils, etc. Section 3. Guild Law. Section 3A. AG Code of Conduct. Honorable Disputes. Section 3. A1. AG Code of Conduct. Under no circumstances is it permissible to interfere with the contract negotiations or execution of another adventurer unless specifically requested by said other concerned or without first invoking a fidelis certare or contest in faith. See Section 3A2. No payment forms from any contract whatsoever may be shared with non-AG associated persons without prior written authorization from an AG admin. Under no circumstances is it permissible for an adventurer to, in any way whatsoever, infringe upon the person or property of any other guild member or affiliate without first invoking either the Lus Domini, right to ownership, or the Lus Honoris, right to honor. See Section 3A2. Only parties comprised wholly of guild members may requisition assets or services. Solicitation or dispensation of any guild assets or services to a disbanded member in any part or manner whatsoever will result in all parties involved being submitted to the death board. Any actual or perceived attack on the guild, its property, its members, or its affiliates in any manner whatsoever will be treated as an attack on the guild body as a whole and will be responded to in appropriate measure. Section 3. A2. Honorable Disputes. Should a guild member or affiliate have a dispute with any other, a Lus Honoris shall be effected and overseen by the nearest at hand guild marshal and borne witness by at least 3 reliable witnesses, and sworn to via written and signed testimony from each. The term shall be till first blood, to the pain, or to the death, determined by the nature of the offense and of the prior relationship of the parties at odds. All honor contests shall be admitted on guild property, and all duties, debts, and or penalties therein, or therefore incurred, shall be tended to by the resident proprietor or the nearest at-hand guild administrator, as per whichever is most practical. Section 3. B. Head grants, death boards. Any guild member affiliate found to be in violation of a contract's terms or the AG Code of Conduct shall be punished in full accordance with the above statutes, to be determined by a tribunal of sanctioned guild officers of reputable standing or by an assigned marshal of the same, and administered at their sole discretion. Head grants. A live bounty placed on the head of a Rouge Guild member, affiliate by either the offended party or by an authorized guild sponsor, to be paid in full upon delivery of the party at issue at said client or sponsor's own expense, to be then reimbursed by either the party at issue upon finding their fault, or else to be forwarded as recompense to the falsely aggrieved should they be proved innocent. Death boards. A death bounty placed on the head of a Rouge Guild member, affiliate by either the offended party or by an authorized guild sponsor, to be paid in full upon delivery of the party at issue's corpse at said client or sponsor's own expense, to be then reimbursed by either the nearest convenient guild administrator or else to be forwarded as recompense to the falsely aggrieved's next of kin should they be proven innocent. And there we go. Like I said, this video pretty much exclusively exists to advertise my latest book. It's got everything from the 10 Commandments and 11 Satanic Rules of the Earth to the Georgia Guidestones and Code of Hammurabi, all taken verbatim from the most faithful sources I could find, with little or no added commentary or editorializing from me, except for on my own personal editions, obviously. So if that's something that interests you, check it out over on Amazon. It's available in ebook, hardcover, and paperback formats. Hopefully, by the time this video goes up, I'll have published the newly revised edition, now including this strange little extra-legal treatise. And with that, as usual, I bid you all adieu, saying with ever more sardonism each day, stay safe, stay sane, and remember, keep your minds open, not empty. Peace be upon you.